Once upon a time, in a distant maze, there were 4 characters who lived in search of cheese. This cheese represented everything they desired in life: happiness, success, love, or inner peace. The characters were 2 mice named Sniff and Scurry, and 2 little humans named Hem and Haw. Although they were different in many ways, they shared the same goal: to find cheese in the maze. The routine at Cheese Station C. One day, after persistent searching, the 4 characters found a bountiful source of cheese at Cheese Station C. The mice, Sniff and Scurry, quickly adapted to this new source of cheese. Every day, they followed the same routine. They put on their running shoes and went out to look for cheese, prepared for any change. The mice used their simple but effective method of trial and error, which allowed them to adapt quickly. On the other hand, Hem and Haw also rejoiced in the discovery. However, unlike the mice, the 2 humans became complacent. They settled into Cheese Station C, enjoying the cheese without worrying about the future. Over time, they began to consider it their acquired right. Hem even decorated his home around the cheese, while Haw, though less confident, also relaxed and stopped looking beyond the station. The cheese disappears. One fateful day, Sniff and Scurry arrived at Cheese Station C and discovered that all the cheese had disappeared. Wasting no time, the mice put on the running shoes they always carried with them and ventured back into the maze in search of more cheese. Their instinct and preparation for change drove them to move forward without hesitation. When Hem and Haw arrived and found the station empty, they reacted very differently. Hem shouted in frustration, refusing to accept reality. "Who moved my cheese?" he clamored, hoping the cheese would return by itself. Haw, though equally shocked and upset, began to question the situation. He knew something had to be done, but he wasn't sure what. Denial and fear. Hem and Haw kept returning to Cheese Station C, hoping the cheese would reappear. Hem was particularly immobile, refusing to look for new cheese and blaming the world for his misfortune. "It's not fair," he repeated. "This cheese is ours by right." Haw, on the other hand, began to feel increasingly uneasy. He remembered the days when searching for cheese was an adventure and started to wonder if he should venture into the maze again. However, the fear of the unknown held him back. He thought of the possible dangers and failures he might face if he left the station. Haw's awakening. One day, after much reflection, Haw decided he had to face his fears. He realized that staying in Cheese Station C without cheese made no sense. He tried to convince Hem to join him, but Hem refused outright. Determined, Haw left a message on the station wall. "If you do not change, you become extinct." Armed with courage and hope, Haw ventured into the maze. At first, the journey was difficult and discouraging. He found only small bits of cheese, but these fragments gave him the energy and encouragement to keep searching. Every time he felt disheartened, he remembered how miserable it was to stay in the empty station. Lessons in the maze. As he explored, Haw left messages on the walls of the maze for himself and for Hem, hoping that someday his friend would read them and decide to join him. Some of these messages included: "The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you find new cheese. When you move beyond your fear, you feel free. Imagining your new cheese helps you find it." These messages helped Haw stay motivated. He reflected on how much he had changed since leaving Cheese Station C. He realized that his fear of the unknown had been his greatest obstacle and that, by overcoming it, he had gained not only new cheese but a new perspective on life. The discovery of new cheese. After a long search and many lessons learned, Haw finally found a new and vast cheese station, Cheese Station N. There he found Sniff and Scurry, who were already enjoying the new cheese. Haw joined them, savoring the reward of his perseverance and bravery. Cheese Station N was even bigger and more varied than Cheese Station C. Haw understood that the real value was not just in the cheese he had found, but in the journey and the lessons learned along the way. He was grateful for having decided to face his fears and for having learned to adapt to change. Reflections and conclusions. Haw did not forget his friend Hem. On the walls of the new station, he left more messages, hoping that one day Hem would decide to leave his comfort zone and join him. Movement in a new direction helps you find new cheese. Smell the cheese often so you know when it is getting old. These messages reflected the most important lessons Ha had learned on his journey. The importance of always being aware of changes, adapting quickly, and not being afraid to explore new opportunities. The meeting. The story of Ha and Hem was shared by Michael at a reunion with his old schoolmates. Michael explained how the parable had impacted his life, helping him adapt to significant changes in his work and personal life. The friends discussed how each of them could apply the lessons of the cheese in their own lives, reflecting on their experiences and challenges. Key lessons from the book. Who Moved My Cheese? Is a story rich in metaphors and teachings about change and adaptation. Some of the most notable lessons include: change is inevitable. The cheese keeps moving. Accepting this and being prepared for change is crucial to staying relevant and satisfied. Anticipate change. Observe small changes and signs that may indicate something big is coming. Being prepared allows us to adapt more easily. Adapt quickly. The faster we adapt to change, the less we suffer. Resistance to change only prolongs pain and dissatisfaction. Let go of fear. Overcoming our fears allows us to discover new opportunities. Fear of change is a bigger obstacle than change itself. Seek change. We should not only be prepared for change but also actively seek new opportunities. This keeps us in constant growth. Enjoy change. Seeing change as an opportunity, rather than a threat, can bring benefits and satisfaction. Life is an adventure, and adapting is part of enjoying it. Conclusion. Who Moved My Cheese? Teaches us that life is in constant change and that our happiness and success depend on our ability to adapt to these changes. Through the simple yet powerful parable of Sniff, Scurry, Hem, and Haw, Spencer Johnson shows us that change is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced and leveraged. The story invites us to reflect on our own willingness to change and to question how we can improve our adaptability. In the end, cheese is not just a goal but a metaphor for continuous search and personal growth. True success lies in our ability to move with the cheese and enjoy the journey that leads us to find it.